Hey TVs, it's Psychic Bob. Well, here I am, getting this out a little later than I planned, but Psychic Bob's been taking things slow. I've been really resting and recuperating. And I want to first of all say thank you. Thank you to all of you who came out to yesterday's video. My vlog wasn't so exciting. I did a healing walk, but I really needed that, just that kind of quiet time. And so many of you have been sending prayers to me and doing rituals for me for my healing. For those of you who are new here, you said, what's he talking about? Yesterday I suffered a terrible directed energy weapon attack. I was injured to the point of literally hemorrhaging blood out of my mouth and ears. Sonic weapons were used on me. Anyway, see yesterday's video if you want to hear more about that. But for today, let me just say thank you. Thank you for your prayers. A lot of you wrote comments. I was so sick yesterday, I really didn't have the energy to write everybody. So please know it's not that I didn't appreciate it. I just was really sick. And today I've been sleeping, and I've been doing a few readings, taking it at a little slower pace. And so probably for the next few days, things will be a little slow. Not to worry, I will get you guys on my schedule. Those of you who are waiting to hear back from me for a reading, okay? Anyways, I'm glad you're here. And I don't know if you guys have been following the weather, but you might see my blinds back here moving. Here in the Washington, D.C. area, the federal government has shut down because we are in severe windstorm. We're literally having a cyclone. That's what they said on the news, a cyclone. And there's a massive storm, a nor'easter, over us. Where I am, it's sunny, but we're getting the wind from the storm. And it is over 60 miles an hour. I live in a high-rise, and I swear to God, my building is swaying. It's kind of freaky. One of my neighbors had her car windows blown out by the storm. I went out earlier. I literally got knocked over and fell into a tree. I have to laugh. It's kind of funny because anybody driving by would have thought I said some drunk guy. I was trying to walk and I was all crooked. I fell over into a tree. Anybody saw it was I've been drinking, but I wasn't drinking. It was the wind. Anyway, so I'm inside. You can hear the wind rustling. I can't do anything about that. I have an old condo. It's built in the 1960s. I have single pane, uninsulated glass. So it just roars through here. Anyways, that being said, we're going to try to do our video today. Today I wanted to talk about a subject that is absolutely fascinating to me. It is about Venusian motherships. These are the giant cigar UFOs that many people have seen all over the world. What's interesting is this discussion of these motherships, and that's what they are. They're motherships, and I'll explain that in a little while, have been sighted over the United States for a long, long time, especially since the 1950s when it became very prominent. But what's interesting is recently there was an anomaly spotted in the space. The people monitor space, NASA, you know, the space station, all that, captured what appeared to be a long cylindrical object circling the Earth. A lot of UFO enthusiasts were quick to jump up and say, oh, it's a mothership, we've got evidence, now they're acknowledging it. Well, actually, it looks like what that turned out to be was actually just a meteor. Now, you know, I'm one who believes that the government is covering up stuff on UFOs, but in this case, I have to believe that they are being honest. From what I can see and from the photographs, it does appear to be more of a meteor rather than the ship. But what is interesting is that that meteor looks so similar to a ship, it's got everybody now discussing that UFO phenomena. In fact, let me put a picture up here for you of the meteor that has been spotted, okay? So here's a picture. Now, as you can see, that's a meteor, and that's what was sighted. But what's really fascinating is, as I said, people are now talking about the UFO phenomena. And I have to tell you, from a psychic place, I believe that this meteor is kind of a foreshadowing. It's a foreshadowing of the revelations that's to come. Now, could it be possible that NASA created that just to create a buzz? Possibly. Either way, it doesn't really matter whether it was a natural phenomena or not, because it's got people questioning about UFOs. Now, I've been following UFOs for a long time, and back in the 50s, there was an author that I absolutely love called Desmond Leslie, and I actually have some of his original books. They're actually in storage now, so I don't have them to show you, but I have first editions of his books. And one of his books was called Flying Saucers Have Landed. It came out in the early 1950s. And this was a groundbreaking book because Desmond Leslie not only claimed to have seen UFOs, he photographed them and claims to have met with representatives of the aliens as well as been on their ships. Now you can imagine in the 1950s this was really quite shocking stuff. But it opened up a whole discussion of UFOs. Now, what Desmond Leslie has said is that the UFOs, at least the ones he first encountered, were from Venus. And in his books, he details the cigar-shaped craft. They look like giant cylindrical craft. Let me put up some pictures here that I'll show a picture of Desmond Leslie's book. You can see on the cover of the book that it shows two UFOs. One is a cigar-shaped craft and one is a flying saucer. And one of the other pictures is an actual architectural rendering of the inside of the ship as he was shown it by the aliens. So take a look at these pictures now, okay? Take a look at these. So, as you can see, these pictures clearly show a UFO that is cigar-shaped. Some of these are seen to be perfect tubes. Some of them are a little wider in the middle and tapered ends. There are a few different forms. But according to Desmond Leslie and other people who are witnesses from the 1950s, these are what are known as motherships. They come from the planet Venus. Well, what's in a mothership, you say? Well, this is where the flying saucers come out of. And so, Desmond Leslie also photographed and filmed flying saucers, and you saw that on the cover of the book. That was the other ship. But what's interesting is that these motherships, some of them in terms of size, if you were actually to bring them up close and measure them, are about 1 mile to 2 miles in length. Now, I don't know about you, but I really don't believe we've yet developed any ship that could be that large that we could get off the ground. And so the staggering size of these ships is really something. And what's interesting is that these were really prominent in the 50s, and then they kind of disappeared. It's funny, it seems like UFOs go through phases where one type of ship is seen and then a different type of ship. Like in the last few years, we've seen the triangular craft, the black triangles. That's like the latest ship. Everybody's talking about that. But now we are starting again to see the cigar-shaped craft. And these have been seen over major cities of the world. For example, there's a picture that I'll put up here in a few minutes of it shows a ship, a mother craft, over the Great Wall of China. They've also been spotted over Washington, D.C., and I've got a picture of that as well. And I actually have a friend who actually watched one fly over her house. And I know she saw it. She never lies about stuff like that. So, it's starting to reappear. Now, I believe that the reason why we're seeing these craft again is that the Venusians basically are getting ready to make contact. Now, as I have always said, I believe that our first contact with the aliens, at least that the government will admit to, will be humanoid aliens. The beings who inhabit these craft look exactly, literally like you and I. You would not be able to tell that they are Venusian. Now, all of that goes back to an earlier belief that I have, which is that the Pleiadians seeded life on all of the planets of our solar system. So that means the planet Earth, the planet Mars, the planet Venus, planet Saturn. These planets had or have life that looks like us, that are descendants of Pleiadian peoples. So we Earthlings are Pleiadian as well. This is why when we encounter the aliens, people are going to be like, well, gee, they look just like us. Of course they do. Now, I know some people are going to say, well, Psychic Bob, every alien I've seen is a little short, 4-foot-high gray man with bug eyes, big black bug eyes. Yes, that's a whole different race. Those are the gray aliens. And I've done other videos on that. We'll talk about them in future videos. But for right now, I want to just focus on the motherships because I really have seen an upswing in the sightings of these. I have longed to see a UFO mothership. I have seen the spherical UFOs. Some people say that these spheres also come from motherships. And last week I did a video about spherical UFOs, so you might want to check that out. But I think that the sign of the motherships means we're also going to start seeing flying saucers again. Have you noticed you don't hear a lot about saucers as much anymore? Mostly you hear about boomerang-shaped craft, triangle-shaped craft, and now we're starting to see these craft emerge. So I just want to put this out there for you guys to think about today. I think it's a sign of things to come. Again, I don't want anybody to have panic. These aliens are not dangerous. The Venusians are actually some of the most enlightened and kind alien beings you'll ever encounter. But I understand a lot of people's hesitancy and fear of the gray aliens. But the Venusian aliens, they're literally like our brothers and sisters. I mean, literally. And so you don't have to fear. But I'm hoping that the upswing in sightings of these UFO, these cigar-shaped craft, really, I believe, are pointing as a herald that we're about to make contact. So this is going to happen in just maybe the next year to 2 years. I mean, it's really close now, okay? I sometimes think that NASA showing that cylindrical meteor that was shaped like a, the asteroid that was shaped like a tube craft was also their way of starting to introduce to the public, this subject again. So, keep your eye on NASA because we're going to start seeing even more interesting revelations come out of NASA. And I have to tell you, whether anybody believes it or not, I believe that they are being given, they have an agenda, that they are starting to reveal truths in order that they will be now preparing the American public and the public across the world, really, to receive the truth of what's going to soon be revealed, okay? Anyways, I'm going to put a few more pictures here at the end. I want you to watch. These are just various photographs that people have taken of the UFO craft, and see what you think. So my question to you is, have you ever seen a cigar-shaped craft? What did it look like? What was your experience? I've heard some people say that at night they glow, like they're orange colored. So did you see one that was glowing? Did you see one that was non-glowing? What color was it? How big do you think it was? What was your experience? Maybe you received a message from it. Maybe you saw UFOs come from a mother craft. Tell me below, what is your experience? Have you heard of these? Have you maybe read about it? Have you seen pictures before? Share your thoughts with me. Let's have a discussion. Well, anyways, guys, thanks for being here. I love you. I send blessings to all of you. And watch the pictures that follow, okay? Keep it here at Spirit Channel. We got more coming. By the way, tomorrow's Saturday. Saturday night seance. Don't miss it. Be here. Love you guys. We'll see you then. Until then, may you blessed be. Now watch the pictures.